Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So today, me and my friends will explain to you guys about the retirement planning process. Since retirement planning play a big role for everyone, a common approach still can be followed by others even though their individual needs might be different. Despite variation of client situation and resources, this 6-step of retirement planning process will ensure the ability of a consistent plan by financial planner for their client. So, let's proceed with the first step. The first step is establishing retirement goals and objectives. First of all, planner needs to understand client's actual situation, which obtains info regarding of client's financial well-being, future needs, aspirations, goals, and objectives at retirement. Those information can be gathered using both assumptions of qualitative and quantitative assumptions. We can determine client's retirement income need using two kinds of methods, which are replacement ratio method and expenses method that will be explained for future in the next step. Next is deciding on the retirement age. There are two phases that client will go through. Using this accumulation and consumption phase, here are some formula that can be used to calculate the retirement age. Let's move to the second step, which is the gathering data relating to retirement planning. The most important data to be collected is the retirement goal of the client. This is because actions and recommendations have to be made in line with client goals. Next is to identify whether clients want to use capital liquidation approach or capital conservation approach. If a client prefer capital liquidation approach, whereby all financial resources for retirement are expected to be fully utilized upon death of the client. While if the client choose to adopt a capital conservation approach, the need to estimate how long the client will live retirement become irrelevant. This is due to the fact that the capital conservation approach supposed to provide an unending sources of regular income for the client. Apart from that, determine appropriate time and venue for data gathering is also important. Why is it? Because if the time and the venue are convenient to both client and the planner, then the client can feel at ease to discuss any information that needed by the planner. In order to determine and filling the client's retirement needs, planner need to undergo the 6 stages stated above. Here are some cases that will show on how to use the replacement ratio method to know the retirement income needs. Let's see the calculation using formula provided. Using the same case of Jackson, the computation of lump sum needed using financial calculator are as followed.
Step 3, Stage 3. Determining the current and future resources earmarked for retirement purpose. In this stage, we as financial planner need to identify current available asset and cash saving which are planned to be used for the purpose of retirement. In this stage, we as financial planner must be conservative in determining their values. The meaning of conservative means that we as financial planner cannot predict the value or the price too high because it might be mislead. And financial planner should not put the value too low because it might not reflect the economic value of the asset. Other than that, rate of return must be derived from the fact-finding sheet and need to be logical and accurate. So this is current resources of retirement for Encik Azman. So we have stock and share, unit trust, and EPF. So we need to find the value of retirement. So we need to use financial calculator to get the value. So why we choose N and not begin as the set to get the value? It is because all of the return can only get at the end of the term. So then we will get the actual value.
Stage C, determining the funding need. So for the retirement, so there are three ways to choose for a funding method to fit the deficiency. The first one is regular funding approach, lump sum funding approach, and combination funding approach. We will only look at the first approach, which is regular funding approach. This approach can be broken down into annually, half-yearly, and monthly. Let's go to the calculation.
Now I will show you how to calculate the amount that needed to be contributed by the client. So the first one is we need to find it. We can calculate it using the financial calculator. So the first one is we look to the retirement gap. We have 107392, and then we have N15 I5%. And then we can use the financial calculator. Press CMPD and then you set begin. Begin. And then N15 I5 PV0 PMT we will solve later. FV 107392 PV PY1CY1. We solve for PMT, we get 4739. So we round off, we will get 4740.
Next, we go to the next step, which is step 4, designing and recommending the retirement plan. There are 5 areas you need to consider when you bid for a retirement plan. First, you need to know what does the client want at the retirement. You need to identify the type of lifestyle the client wants when he finally retires. No matter which lifestyle is chosen, make sure you have the sufficient income to live for a retirement year and have money to pay for unexpected expense. Number 2, you need to know what are the client's financial retirement resources. Determine the client's current financial standing in relation to his retirement goal. Number 3, look at what is the income needed to sufficiently fund the lifestyle chosen. Determine the sort of income needed to sustain the client's chosen lifestyle. The quality of the lifestyle will depend on the income available when the client retires. To achieve this objective, the planner must compute the amount of income required to meet the objective. You can compute it using the TVM technique. Number 4, you need to know what is the additional lump sum amount needed to feed the client retirement need. In order to find for retirement gap, you need to minus the projected lump sum needed at the retirement minus the projected retirement resources. Then you will get the retirement gap. Number 5, what must the client do from now in order to meet his retirement fund shortfalls? Develop a retirement funding blueprint to ensure the retirement goal to be achieved.
Next, we go to the next step, which is step 5, implementing the retirement plan. So implementation responsibility must be clearly defined and they should be consistent with the agreement agreed earlier. There has the agreement called introductory letter or be known as the letter of authority to act. This letter is important because that they need to know that the client permission is recorded in black and white. This letter covers some points such as the client has sufficiently understood the retirement plan presented to him. And the second one is to understand that the plan and assumption in the plan reflect the current situation of the client.